Hello my dear students, welcome back to online class. Students, we have already discussed in previous slide or previous class about evaporation process. Now in this class we are going to discuss about a new method called condensation and another how a solution is called to be a saturated solution. Okay, so let's begin. Students, we have already learned about the salt and sand solution in water, and while the salt dissolves in water, sand deposits at the bottom of the beaker and can be separated from the salt solution with the help of filter paper or by gently pouring the salt solution in another container. We now have to separate the salt from water, for which we will be simultaneously use the method of evaporation and condensation. We have already discussed the evaporation process. While heating the solution in a kettle, we observe that the vapor or steam starts to rise from the spout of the kettle. And what we then do is allow the steam to come in contact with the metal plate, which has some ice on it. Okay, here you can see the picture. And when this happens, the steam converts into small drops of water, and which we transfer to another container, and thus successfully manage to separate salt which gets left behind the kettle and the water which we collect in a separate container. In the left side you can see the separate container. So this process is called condensation. What is condensation? Condensation is defined as a simple process of converting gas to its liquid form by decreasing its temperature or pressure exerted on it. That is what we did when we allowed the steam to come in contact with the cold metal plate. Okay, so here the main process of conversion of water vapor or the gas into its liquid form is known as condensation. Okay, here the experiment that we have already discussed about it. Again I am recapitulating it. Take a mixture of sand and salt. How will we separate this? We have already saw that hand picking would not be a practical method for separating those. So keep this mixture in a beaker and add some water to this. Leave the beaker aside from some time, and do you see the sand settles down at the bottom? Yes, the sand can be separated by decantation and filtration. Further, what does the decanted liquid contain? Do you think this water contains the salt which was there in a mixture at the beginning? Now we need to separate salt and water from the decanted liquid. Now transfer this liquid to a kettle and we have to choose a lid, and we have to close its lid. Okay, and heat the kettle for some time. Do you notice steam coming out from the spout of the kettle? That is the mouth of the kettle. And take a metal plate with some ice on it and hold the plate just above the spot of the kettle. You can remember the previous slide's picture. Okay, and you can also see your book. This experiment is already in your book. And what do you observe? Let all the water in the kettle boil off. When the steam comes in contact with the metal plate cooled with ice, it condenses and forms liquid water. So the water drops that you observed falling from the plate were due to condensation of the steam. So here the process by which water vapor, these are converting into liquid form, is called as condensation. So did you ever see water drops condensed under a plate that has been used to cover a vessel containing milk that has just been boiled? Yes, you have seen, I hope. And after all the water has evaporated, what is left behind the kettle? Can you say? So students, we have already discussed about condensation, and in previous class we have already discussed about evaporation. Now, can you differentiate between evaporation and condensation? Yes, you can differentiate, as evaporation is the process where water changes into vapor or liquid is changing into vapor, but in condensation the opposite process, where the water vapor is converted into water, or the gas is converted into liquid. Okay, so here's the main basic difference between evaporation and condensation. Okay, that's all. Thank you.